In April of this year, Housatonic Valley Regional High School's class of 2016 announced its candidates for the prom court. Among the nominees for prom king was Micah Weisberg, a student who as recently as last year was better known by another name, Michaela. Although Housatonic was not the first high school in Connecticut to have a transgender student nominated for prom king, the news nonetheless sparked a variety of responses among the student body.
It actually feels like a huge accomplishment, not only because it's the prom list, but because it's the prom king list. My family was ecstatic. It was ridiculous when they found out, because my mom was like, oh my God, we should have a party and we should celebrate this and this should be everywhere, like on the news and everything, that my son is finally accepted within the community. I currently identify myself as a pansexual lesbian because, like, the way I see it is I won't identify myself as a transgender male until I'm officially like on hormones and actually beginning the transition itself. Most of the time it's him, but sometimes I'll be okay with referring to as she if they don't know me that well and like they don't know what's going on. I came out initially as bisexual at 12, and then it sort of just like trailed off from there. So I mean, that's a pretty early age to come out and like have the courage to come out in the first place when you know that your family is not really going to be accepting.
We knew that Micah's story, both of coming out and beginning to transition, did not necessarily reflect the experience had by all members of the LGBT community. Elizabeth Bai, a Connecticut state senator representing the 5th District, was part of the first same-sex couple to be married in the state of Connecticut.
Well, we were the first to get married in Connecticut, and it was very exciting. My wife is a town historian, so we were trying to be the first in our town. We didn't realize until the New York Times had someone at our ceremony in New Haven, which was where the movement was, that we were married about 15 minutes before the next gay couple. We were really excited. It had been a wait and a struggle, and there were a lot of people that thought it shouldn't happen. When gay marriage passed, we're like, well, we'll go to town hall and get married on the first day, not thinking it would be that emotional. And he said, by the power vested in me by the state of Connecticut, I just welled up. Because when you are someone that's struggling and you go through your day-to-day life, you don't realize it's impacting you. The final impetus came on the night of the civil union debate in the House of Representatives here. I'd really never been down to watch a debate, and I drove down because I knew they were debating civil union. And I met my now wife then. We were together then, but we weren't married. And we were up in the audience with a lot of the civil rights leaders and a lot of the LGBT leaders, and we hadn't been out front. We'd been involved some, but you know, we were just finding our way to that. So the gentleman who represented me in the State House during the debate stood up and he pointed at the balcony where I was standing with the LGBT activists, and he said, "These people won't stop till they have marriage." And I just found it so offensive that I turned around to the other leaders and I said, "I'm blank and running." How I came out here was in a speech about why gay marriage was important, and I sort of cried through the whole 8 minutes. The next day I was on the cover of the Hartford Courant. I had a wedding ring and I had an Irish ring. And so like this big was me crying on the front page of the Hartford Courant. The hardest part of coming out is fear. You imagine all these things. You imagine that people are going to judge you. You imagine people won't vote for you. You don't want people to think badly of you, and you know there's some people that do judge people who are gay. So you have this fear, I think, that you're going to be judged. And so the miracle of it is now I go door to door, and I'm married to a high school teacher. And probably when I'm in her half of town where she teaches, more often I'll say, hi, I'm Beth Bai. It's not like, oh, Senator Bai. It's like, oh, how's Tracy? And so it's amazing that in a decade I've gone from being fearful to mention my family at a door to being embraced at the door by people who are just happy that we're together.
Senator Bai's story revealed how quickly public opinion has shifted on the issue of gay rights. Despite this, we understood that there were members of the LGBT community who were still struggling to feel accepted by the people who matter most to them. Janika Williams is an intern at True Colors, an outreach program for LGBT youth located in Hartford.
I come from a Jamaican background, and Jamaican culture is very homophobic and they're very religious, so I'm just afraid of not being accepted. I mean, I'm 24 years old and I technically still have not come out to my parents, so I basically live two lives. I feel like every time I tell her no, I feel like this big relief. She's just like, thank you, God. But I feel like if I really were to say yes, she would literally have a heart attack, and I don't want to hurt my mom because I love my mom very much, so it's very hard. I'm a lesbian Christian, so I go to church, I believe in God, I pray to God, and I'm a lesbian, so I don't think God is, I don't think being LGBT has anything to do with religion at all. I don't think it hinders us from having a religion or anything like that.
In the end, we found that when it comes to identity, everyone struggles in their own way and to many different degrees. As far as we have come, there is still more room to make members of the LGBT community feel they can go through life comfortable in the knowledge that they are accepted for who they truly are.
I have so many friends, and the LGBT community is already starting to to have its own place here. That's a good start, but I'd also like to see some changes within curriculum, especially in health and gym class, to better suit not only lesbians, gays, and bisexuals, but also transgender students, and so they can feel more at home and accepted and just happy.